let's talk about submissiveness in our relationships. Now, you guys know I just love metaphors. And a good metaphor that I want to use for today's topic is driving a car. So paint the picture. Two people sitting in the front seat, both are reaching for the steering wheel. One is pulling it left, the other one's pulling it right. And at this point, you already know that car isn't going anywhere, right? Because both people are fighting for control. It's jerking, swerving, and eventually it's just going to end up in the ditch somewhere. But one person in the car gives up and says, okay, I give up. I'm not going to keep trying to fight you. Go ahead and take control. And because you're the driver, I'm the passenger, I'm going to sit back and let you do what you got to do. Now, in order for that to happen, the passenger has to pretty much give up control. And not because they lost power, because they want the car to move in the right direction, and they understand that for that to happen, both people need to play their role in that car. And just because the passenger let go of the wheel doesn't fully mean that they don't have any say-so in where that car goes. So that's submission. Now, what if I told you that our real strength as wives, as women, when we can confidently take our place as the neck of the head and just let go of the wheel, that's when we really step into our strength. Now, welcome to the Taylor Frequency. Let's talk about submission. So you already know that today's topic is a controversial one because so many people think that submission equates to a traditional woman and the modern woman is what is happening today. But the question that I pose to you is submission outdated or is it just misunderstood? Now, I noticed that every time someone hears that word submission, people get triggered, right? Because I think they assume that submission means you're weak, you're the weaker sex, you're going to lose control, you're a doormat, you just do what is being told for you to do. But what if submission was never about control and it was everything about alignment? Now, my sisters, we all want our husbands to provide. We want them to cover us with safety and just love us, right? But again, what if I told you that that space for it to happen actually gets created by us? So what does that mean? Well, we don't actually have the power to make our husbands better people or even better men, but we do have the power to pull out a better version of him. You know, we give them something to step into because at that point, he's no longer feeling like he's always in constant competition with us. But first, let's talk about defining what it means to be a submissive wife. Now, by no means does it mean losing your voice. Does it mean that you should be silent and never talk? And it really doesn't mean that you should shrink yourself, be controlled, or to be placed in a box, because that would be manipulation. I'm talking about knowing that you are really in control of the environment where peace is constantly present and the trust and respect, it's moving both ways. And the alignment between you and your husband becomes more of a partnership versus a power struggle. Now, I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm sharing this topic because I had to unlearn a lot about what submission really was. And once I understood it, it didn't feel like weakness. It felt more like I was free because no longer did I have to fight for control. Now, by no means am I the perfect wife because I know I give Stephen hell sometimes. But I'm learning and I'm leaning into that feminine energy, that feminine power. Now, today, guys, it's not a secret. There's a huge negative narrative that submission is a loss of power. And because the context of our value as women was previously defined, that our only abilities that we had was just manage a home and raise a kid or kids. But now we figured out how to do it all, right? We're educated, we have kids, and we're capable of making a good income, we have good jobs. Heck, we even actually figured out how to do all three at the same time. So, you know, a lot of us don't believe that submission is necessary. Why do we have to submit? But my question again is, why can't we be somewhere in the middle, right? Why can't we figure out how to be happy and have peace in our marriages? We can't start just pulling out parts of the Bible that we only like and the ones that we actually want to practice. The Bible is the Bible. Now, a submissive wife will usually get what she wants in the end, guys, because at the end of the day, we just let them think that they're leading. But we're really guiding every move, aren't we? It's more of a psychological chess game. But shh, they don't need to know that. Well, here's something also to think about. We submit everywhere else except to our husbands. We submit to the prices in the stores because if we don't like the price, we don't like it, we can't afford it, we put it back. We submit to our jobs. They give us a role to play, we play it. If we don't like what we do, we quit. We find somewhere else to work. The red lights means we should stop. Green light means we go. We do that. We see a stop sign, we stop. Don't do it, see what happens. But when it comes to our husbands, why is it such a struggle? Now, again, I personally think that it has a lot to do with if we're going to submit, it's about submitting to someone who has the right hands or can accept it and really, really treasure it, right? Because we don't just want to submit to a man. We also want to make sure that they can make us feel emotionally safe. No big surprise there. So really, let's be honest about submission. It's not that we reject it. We reject giving it when we don't feel safe. Now, at the end of the day, can we be strong, independent, and be submissive? Absolutely. But many of us, we have our own money, we have our own mindset, and we have a set of expectations that needs to be met. So we feel that if we submit, we're giving up that or giving that up. We're not submitting out of need. We need to submit out of discernment. So we need to know when we give it up, can I trust this person with all of me? And we want to feel safe enough so that we can voluntarily relinquish that control. Heck, it's freeing when you give up control. Now, I don't think there's any woman on this planet that doesn't like to be taken care of. I know you want to be taken care of. I want to be taken care of. So let's be honest about it. It's not that we're against submission. We just don't want to submit to the wrong person, right? It has to be earned by the right man, not just any man. Now, here's a disclaimer. If the man in your life isn't leading, he's not standing on business, then this isn't about you learning how to submit. It's about you doing some soul searching about your relationship. Because I know that if you have the right man, he won't have you gripping the wheel. He won't make you feel small. He'll make you feel secure about just sitting back in the passenger seat and enjoying the ride. Because at the end of the day, submission was really never meant to silence us. It was meant to protect the peace in our home. And it's not about someone having control over you or leading you. It's about having more trust and alignment in your marriage. So bottom line, I want you to know this. We don't want our husbands to be perfect, right? We just want them to be consistent. We want them to be intentional and emotionally aware. And guess what? When we get that, then it's okay to let go. Now, if you're someone who's too controlling, then here's my recommendation. Don't force yourself to change overnight because it's going to take time. So you want to start off small, but you do want to ask yourself, where are you holding on too tight? If you're someone who's always needing to have the final say or you're continually arguing to be right, then you might want to back down a little bit. Give your man some space and give him some time to show up for you. Let him make some decisions without you. See what he does with it. And let me just be upfront with you, because if he's passing with flying colors, you never know. You might have just found your new superwoman power. So I'm interested to know, do you think that submission is outdated? Or have we just been exposed to the wrong version of it? Because if we don't figure things out soon, our next generation of women, they're going to have to figure it out. And quite frankly, I think they already have enough to worry about. So drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this resonates with you, pass it along with someone else who might see this topic a little more differently. Thanks for sitting with me here at the Taylor Frequency, where we don't just talk relationships, personal growth, and accountability. We look for ways to redefine them. Thanks for joining me.